There's the healing, meridian tapping, and all the other stuff that will help you. And the biggest one...
I'm doing that. I've been doing that tapping
good.
For a while now.
Now, what I want you to know, and I can't remember what I called it now. I need to write down the list of healing tools I put up. But it is... It's gosh, go to our healing tool page. And what it is the energy when you, because this has happened, this is going to, as soon as she finds it, I'll tell you the name of it. But what happens is that your energy, it just happened. So all of your energies are like spilled out in front of you on the floor. And when it's on the floor, I show you exactly how to just go ahead and immediately pick up all of the issues that are on that floor at that moment. So if she can slow down, I'll find the name of it. Oops. You made it go away. You may want to go to MW Reveal. Or Medicine Woman. Medicine Woman for you. No, just a minute. I'm asking you, Jen, to go to the other website. Because if it's not on our Medicine Woman Reveal, it's on my homepage, which is Medicine Woman with the number A, the number... Boy, I can't even speak.
MEDICINEWOMAN.
The number 4, the letter U.
Medicine Woman for you.
And you go to Healing Tools. Now let's go down here. And picking yourself up. That's what the healing tool is called. So picking yourself up, and that's simply your eyes are closed. You look down between your legs on the ground and notice the feelings of all the crap that just happened. What colors are on the floor? And then the healing tool is how to bring it back into your body healthily and to be able to regroup yourself. Okay, so there's a lot of different healing tools. When I create them, I usually put them on my one page and then I transfer them over. So you with me?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah.
Okay, so we'd like to see you come out of this. We already know that you're safe and protected. You got angels all over. Jen, why don't you pull an angel card so that she can just call in a specific angel to help her through this whole event until it is complete. Like there might be 2. Like one she calls in now and later on she'll call in the other one. Maybe when she's sleeping or during the middle of the week, whatever it is. And again, when you start to change your reality, your answers can be changed within minutes. I mean, you literally can have it show in your favor. But sometimes a process of how as big as this one, it may take a little bit, but no worries. You are divinely protected. So, Jen, who did you pick?
They are powerful. They did some doinking to make sure I got the right cards. Archangel Azrael, not the cat from the Smurf show. Archangel Azrael. Your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings.
So when you call in Archangel Azrael, you are knowing that you are protected, and you can call in all of those loved ones. It's like calling in your ancestries so that you really can have the help that back you in this unfolding of what's happening, and you can be safe. Go ahead.
And you got the All Is Well card, Archangel Jeremiel. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to with hidden blessings you will soon understand.
So call this one in and just say thank you and let the angels point to you what is the hidden blessings. So these two will actually be there and guide you through this whole chaotic mess, okay?
Okay. Okay.
All right. I feel like there's a little more concern in your voice. Is there anything we hadn't answered?
No, not really. It's just something that, like I said, has to pass. And,
okay, well, use the healing tools.
Will get resolved, and better answers will be coming in the future.
Yeah,
it hasn't unfolded yet, I guess.
Right, but know that you're safe and you're protected. So use some healing tools, because that feeling that you have right now, that can subside. And that you can actually start seeing the positiveness during this whole hellish situation. So just learn to stand between the energies and pull in the positive one, okay? So we send you with love and light and, you know, happy healing, okay? And just, I know you're going to be protected, so that's a good thing.
For what?
You're going to be protected. You are protected.
Protected, okay.
Okay?
All right, that's good.
All right, thank you, dear.
Okay, take care.
Frightened and alone.
Yeah, that's the thing you can tap out, is that frightened and alone. Now, see, I knew she was going to end up saying what I needed to hear. Hold on, you know, you can't go, because now I got to help you understand, because I was waiting. they say there's a shock that you need to overcome. The first shock that you ever had about this was probably about 8 months old when you were a child. And the shock is familiar to you as a kid. It didn't happen to you directly. It happened around you. It happened, but it felt like it happened to you. So in order for you to get this feeling like you're alone, that you can't figure it out, all of this is that if you go to the website, you look for Hope Therapy under the healing tools, then your healing code is R3S. Write the letter R as in right, the number 3 is in the third pulse point, and the S represents soft. So you're going to follow along with the video that tells you how to place your hand, and the way you place your hand is R3S. And you're going to put your hand on your forehead and your hairline. You're going to feel exactly what you're doing right now. No specific thinking, just whatever it is. Oh my God, I feel alone. I don't know what to do.
The panic.
Yep, the panic. Put on a 0 from 10 and give it a color and just stay in that position, because everything will change. And what will happen is the attraction factor will dissolve, and then you can start not pulling on all this hell. You'll start pulling in all that angel blessing that is there for you. And then you'll be able to see things with a different light. So we're helping you dissolve that lens. Okay?
Okay, all right.
And also think about guilt.
For your input.
Okay, and also heal out any guilt that you feel like you didn't do enough, because you have. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. And then you know where to go? Yeah, do you know where to go for the healing tools?
Well, my computer's jumping around a little bit, but I'll check it later.
Okay, so you go to mwreveal.com, and then you look for healing tools on the left, and then Hope Therapy, all right?
All right, good.
All right,
All
thank
right,
you.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you both for your input.
Yes.
All
And,
right, thank you. Stay blessed, dear.
I'll listen again. All right, thank you. Good night.
Okay,
We have a caller.
excellent. Let's say hello.
You are on the air.
Is it Carrie's Caymans? Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes!
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes.
hear you.
Sometimes the Skype is good and sometimes it's not good.
That is true. We will
Yep.
try to do our best. Just remember, whatever you don't hear from us, you can listen clearly on the archives or on the YouTube channel, okay?
So that's youtube.com//medicine women reveal.
Okay. So how can we
Sounds amazing.
help you, dear?
Just wanted to know, I have an aunt who's been having some really strange dreams about my mom. My mom has crossed over. I just want to know if my mother has any messages for me from the other side.
Okay, so give me a second. And now, is there anything specific in the strange dreams that has been recalled and stood out?
The fact is that my mom was acting strange toward my aunt, which was her sister, and she just kind of wants to know, what's going on there.
Were they close?
Oh yeah.
The reason why I asked that.
About my mom. Yeah.
The reason that I asked that is the picture that she shows in my head is that they're estranged. I mean, they are separated now, and the energy of the way they were in sync, communicating, is not physically there. So the entanglement cord that is the energy cord that is between two people, it has been discombobulated, meaning it's not in sync, it's not clear, and so there is a feeling of being alone. This is what I feel the sister is going through, is kind of feeling like, what the hell, why'd you leave? You know, it reminds you of two twins.
Okay, yeah.
It reminds you of two twins that have that
Right.
interconnection, and it's like you feel this very much loss. And so the shock is now
Right.
sinking in, not on the conscious level, but on the unconscious level. The shock is now starting to set in. It's like the sister's finally coming to the realization, oh, my sister's gone. Even though consciously she can walk around and say, oh yeah, my sister passed, whatever. But it's coming to the realization that it's happened. Okay, now I'm going to let Jen speak, and then I'll go back to, is there a message for you?
Okay, so as far as their
Okay, great.
the relationship, the synergy's off. The synergy, it's not there. As far as her being able to receive any blessings, there would need to be some healing involved. Something would need to be invoked. Something woken up, and that may be from the healing, and also finding ways to nurture herself.
The recovery of that loss.
Okay.
All right, now Scott drew a
Right.
card as well.
This is strange. Okay.
It's called the Sad Embrace.
Loss is a part of life. Let go and allow time to heal you. You may be entering into a period where loss is a theme. Perhaps you're having to let go of a long-cherished dream. If so, take heart, for this ending may have been to your highest good. A better and more powerful dream will be realized in your life if you can accept the loss. Relationships based on faulty foundations are meant to end at this time. Disappointment is a form of perception. If your expectations weren't met, a sense of loss arises, along with the sadness and grief. Express these emotions. Tears are like healing rain that can restore life to a parched inner landscape. Growth is always assured. Whatever the loss, however great it is, let go and experience your feelings so that you may soon see what beauty lies ahead. That's what I had.
Okay, so did you hear what he said?
Nice.
All right, so does this all...
Yes, I did. Beautiful.
Okay, so now me and Jen are tapping in to see if there's anything specific that your mother has
Okay.
directly for you. And the first thing is, oh, I don't. She already knows I love her. But yet at the same time, she says, you don't see the gift, and all I see is that they're flower stems, but there's no flowers. And I got to find out what that's about. Right now, she's just giving me imagery. Something about a very active memory, meaning that it's you're having a physical reaction going in your body, and it's an active memory. So, are you going through anything physically right now?
Yes.
Okay, so that's where she's.
I'm recovering. I have cataracts.
All right, get that out. Okay.
What she's referring to.
That would make sense. Okay, cataracts. We're going to look this up because she's trying to show me that there's an active memory that's causing this physical condition, and she wants you to be able to heal it and address it because she doesn't want this to happen to you. So we have our big book that has a more of cataracts represent life as. So as soon as we find it, Jen will read it.
It says cataracts, which are clouding of the eye lens, walking the plank. They're seeing a dark future ahead in which there is no joy and no end in sight. They desperately want to control their future and impose their will, but they have learned that there is no way that they can do that. As a result, they systematically seek to avoid looking at the future. There is a real fear of what lies ahead for them, along with a lack of nourishment in their experience. It is the result of a grimly dysfunctional family culture in which there was no way out. Now this, at the beginning, kind of explains this vision that I had, because I was asking, well, Brenda was talking with the mom, with your mom, wants you to know, and the image that I got was, it would be a princess, you know, in this flowing white gown with all this fog and mist around, but it's not a typical princess, and Scott's going to have to help me out on the information because it's Princess Leia. So what was the future like at the end of the story? What I can't remember it was Return of the Jedi, right? It was the last one that she participated in.
Yeah.
So then what was the future? What was supposed to be her journey? The outcome?
Well, I thought she was going to be like the princess or whatever, you know.
And what happened? She didn't?
No, I didn't read any of the books past that.
Okay, so what I'm seeing then would make sense is that the future you thought would be bright, you have learned to look at how it's just a fable, how it's not going to come to pass. And so now as I'm looking to what do you mean by this, and I'm asking not just her now, I'm asking your spirit guides, and they said it's quite clear that as a very young girl, about 6 months old, you checked out when a specific thing happened. Now, I feel like the mother said that she was holding you, and there's, let's say she's holding you guys are la 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 la, happy joy, and then all of a sudden something devastating happened, like a loss, somebody died, or you saw she saw something. But however it is, you intertwined with your mother's reactions and emotions, that they became your reality. And so then how you recover is the issue. How you recover is that, in a way, sometimes, because that's what the active memory is. So I don't know if you can ask anybody what happened when you're about 6 months old. You know, what happened in the, could have been the world, something happened in the world, something could have happened in the family itself, or just an experience. Some people just fluff it and go, oh yeah, I was in a car accident.
Right.
You know, they don't see anything big about it. But you meshed with that energy, and it says it's very much, I asked if it had to do with a phobia. They go, no, it's more of a fear. So now, here's the thing. People say, well, I can't talk, and I can't go remember. Well, we don't have to, because this is how the beauty of spiritual investigation is. Because you have an active memory, that means that something in your daily living is actually showing you fresh clues. Now, has it come as a whisper or a proverbial brick wall? We'll find out. So anything strange, for you, you could just have a daily stress that just won't stop. But has anything popped up in front of you that you're like, not again, or damn it, or you have to control the situation, or you're forced that you are the one, that might be it, you're forced to have to be the one that has to stand tall, be strong, answer it, take care of it, and when do you ever get to have a break? Has anything happened to you just recently?
Yeah, I can relate that. With family, you know, kind of with family issues.
Okay, and I think that what you did was you took it on at 6 months old, that you felt like you had to take control and help, because what kids do when the loved ones that they're with will turn around and try to save them. It's like, if you ever watched a child, you know, you're trying to take a jar off, a lid off a jar, and that darn lid won't move, but a baby will come up and try to take that lid off, because the curiosity is, I'm going to help. And you know as an adult that there's no way they're going to be able to take that lid off. But you needed that energy and that spunk and that spirit to be able to have the drive and the force to do what you needed to do. Okay? Now, the thing is the controlling thing, and I hate to use the word control, but it is that you have to be, you are into that position, and you have to watch all this and that. You're tired of it. You're tired of it. You don't want to see it anymore. You want people to take responsibility. You want them to show up. You want them to help you out. But you can't help it, because you know how to take care of things. But what's happening is your 6 months old self is imposing its issue on you as the adult, and it's happening over and over, that it actually locks you into a particular behavior and habit that your body, your adult self says, I can't do it anymore. Does this make sense?
It makes sense. And I can ask my aunt, because we lived together, and she might recall something that happened when I was a baby. So I will dig into this and investigate.
Okay. And in the meantime, to help that 6-month-old self, now I just got to find out what healing tool would be the best one for you, because there's several different layers that I've seen that you have accumulated over the years. So then that's where I asked Spirit, what is the first one you want her to heal, to address, so that she can actually uncover it and be done with it. And they're telling me they want you to do hope therapy, and your code would be R3D. R is in the right wrist, 3 is in the number 3. R3D. R is in the right wrist, 3 is in the number 3, and D means you're going to push in deep with your thumb. Now, you watch the video, you'll know exactly where to put it. But what they're saying is, notice how you watch everybody check out. They don't want to step up to the plate. They would rather walk away. and you're left going, yeah, but it needs to be taken care of now, then you jump up and you take care of it. Does this make sense?
Right.
And they said,
Yes,
notice
it does.
how people check out, and that you're not allowed to check out, because you've been in this position for so long, they can't help but put you in that position because they know who to turn to because they can't do it, and you're tired of this whole thing. It actually interferes with your dream of how you would like to live because you've been living everybody else's dream except for your own. You feel depressed, or not depressed,
Right.
depleted and suppressed. It feels like you have to stifle it, and that you can't share yourself because people are just going to say, you don't have time for that, you got to take care of this. And so they're saying that is what you're going to think about as you are holding R3D. Now, Scott drew a card, and what did you get for her?
I drew the storm fields reversed. It says, now is not the time to engage in any activity that brings unwanted chaos or drama into your life. This kind of storm can be destructive, and you'll regret your actions later. Hurtful words will be carried on the wind and bring a tornado of betrayal, anger, and unnecessary angst. Find shelter. This turbulent weather will pass, and your house will be untouched. Say no to drama. Wait till the storm blows over. Only then will you be heard.
Also, that reinforces that they want you to stop what you normally do. How you did anything is how you do everything.
Okay.
So how you would sit there and have to be the one to take care of it and do this and that. The hardest part is breaking this. Okay, so let me just explain. I know this one very well. It's like I'm a very young mother. I have to cook, clean, take care of the kids, take care of the house, take care of this, take care of that. And literally my body couldn't do it anymore, and it says, stop, you can't do this. It broke on hives. It started to break down feverishly fast. And I'm like, what the hell is going on with my body? Why does it feel like it's dying? And finally, I heard my spirit says, you have to stop. Just stop. Don't cook anymore. Don't do this anymore. And I'm thinking, yeah, but everybody's got to eat. We got to live in a house. And it was so hard because the part of me that I finally had to face was I thought I was going to die or blow up or the world was going to end. And I literally just stopped. I went on strike. It was hard for my husband because I couldn't get him to understand because I didn't even understand at the time. But I had to stop everything that I structured my life as and had to do a reconstructing and have it show up differently. But the hardest part was that everybody expected me to be a certain way. And it looked like I was being stubborn because I said no. And this is way before I had healing tools. So the hardest part is actually saying, I don't want to do that, even though I know that that's what I do to control that. I don't want to do that anymore. So you have a heads up. If you go to mwrevealed.com, look under Healing Tools, look for Hope Therapy. You will then go to R3, or your code will be R3D. So watch the videos, figure out what you're supposed to do. Hold that right wrist in that third position and push your thumb in deep. Put your hand on your forehead and your hairline, finger in your palm. And you just get into your hells of going, I can't do that. I have to cook supper. I have to do this. Argue with yourself if you must, but what you're doing is you're going to be pulling up the different value systems. You value this, but yet at the same time, you value something else, and they're in great conflict, and your body is trying to tell you that you can't go on any further like this. So it'll really feel hard. Like I said, you have all of these little particular things that occurred. This layer is the first layer. I don't, keep doing this particular R3D so that you can get it out. But you may have to call back in or call us up and set an appointment so we can just start going layer by layer to getting your body to say, and everything else to be reconstructed so your values, the ones that are in great conflict and fighting right now, can be resolved. So I'm going to, I feel you can do this, but again, we're available for you. So now, do you remember where to go?
I know, I looked at your website, so I'm going to go to your website, and I'm going to follow the rules to the healing tools, and I really appreciate it. I really do. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much
now,
for calling.
re-listen to the archives, watch the video if you must, and that way you can get all the gems, all the little things that your spirit guide, your mother, and everything wants you to heal. Now, the main thing that your ma said is that she's actually happy and clapping her hands, and she is like, oh my God, yes, daughter, I love you. And she just wants to say that she's glad that when you heal, you'll be unstuck and you won't be stuck in the mud anymore. And she wants you to move forward. Okay?
Good. Good. Thank you so much. Have a blessed evening.
Aw, you too,
You
dear.
too.
All right, stay blessed. Now we're back, and I love having spirit do spiritual investigation. It's not your typical reading. We dive deeper. You know, I don't really listen to a lot of readers. I don't really know the difference between what we do and what other people do. I just know that we do in spiritual investigation. I know that there is a way out of the hells. I know what that last caller is going to be going through if she did not have the tools. It literally is saying, I'm done. I remember the story of this woman, 5 beautiful kids. She loves them deeply, was always a great, wonderful mother, complete caretaker, helped these kids grow, but there was this enabling and an expectation. She had always enabled that she would always be there for them, but it wasn't a two-way street so that they could be there for her. So then she developed cancer, and I can't remember if it was breast or what part it was. I think it was breast cancer. And her journey then became, you've got to now stop and let them take care of you, because your body is now forcing people to help you. Okay, it's forcing. And
How else are you going to get a break?
exactly, she never got a break. Now, she would give herself pep talks every day. She didn't really see anything wrong with her life, so when it was presented that she needed to take a break, she would say, well, everything is great. Yeah, the kids don't know how to pick up after themselves, blah, 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 blah. She was complaining, but her complaining to her was how much she loved and nourished these kids and was proud of the fact she could be there. She didn't know that her soul was even telling her that this was sad, a depression, a depletion, because negative thoughts create negative peptides, which creates the foundation in the environment to go and do what it's supposed to do, and that is to break down the pH balance to the point where if it's in the decay mode, it's supposed to do that because it's not the enemy. You look at a log out into the wilderness, and its job is to start to decay or start doing what it needs to do to break down, and that's how, when it gets to the decay stage, these microbes do their job. They're not bad, they're doing their job. Now we need to get you to help you process to do your job to help you understand that your soul is telling you certain things. And I'm so glad she was able to hear us.
Yes, and was interested in what was, what to do next.
Yeah, and so even though she called in for her, for aunt as well as is there a message for me, the mother came quite clear because they kept showing me the stems of the flowers, or the stems, but no flowers. And I couldn't understand why that looked like it was erased or clouded out. Mm-hmm. Well, then when she said, ask her about the physical condition, it made more sense. Mm-hmm. So, again, the woman that I was telling you about, she finally decided that she said no to her kids. No. And they kind of were upset because she wasn't helping. And her disease wasn't diseased enough to get them to say, oh, well, let me help you, Mom.
Right, you can still function. Come on, go take me to wherever I need
They
to be.
could not come over that passing that this was serious. Mm-hmm. And it got to the point where she got very sick and couldn't get out of it. And then people were helping her, and it helped her that she did see them starting to, but then when she started to recover, things started to go back to the normal, but then she said no, and literally took a strike, and decided that's it. And so told her kids, that's it. You're grown up enough, take care of yourself, that's all I can say. And she went out and found a life for herself, other than just taking care of other people, and she survived. But the hardest part is that you had to have this proverbial brick wall hit you so hard, bend you at your will, and bend you and break you at your knees, and literally just, it's like for a man, it's like taking him by the balls and squeezing real hard and forcing you down on the ground, and you can't even cry uncle because there's no strength left to do that. So,
well, it's breaking those ways that you, and recognizing how you've set up the enabling. It's recognizing, oh my gosh, this prison that I feel that I'm in, and some people don't even see it as a prison. I created this. Okay, well, now, who has the key? Did I give the key to anybody? How am I supposed to get out? And breaking those conditions that you've kind of enabled, and saying, oh boy, you know, because it's that enabling. You know, I'm thinking about certain situations in my former relationship, and you know, then I had to, you know, put a stop to it. And it's like, well, why? Why aren't you going to do that anymore? Because it's taken stuff away from me.
And yeah, and then that person wants it back. Now, here's the thing. Your body will become so robotic that it just does an automatic response and then triggers your brain, because it sends signals to the brain, oh, we need to do this. And so then you look at your excuses, rational reasons to explain, oh, yeah, that's why it's happening, because you have to feel balanced. So your body's talking to the brain's trying to convince you to stay into doing this particular habit. Now, here's the thing that you got to understand. Nobody's to blame here, okay? This is noticing how you do not notice your soul speaking. My mother, taking care of her, I love my mother. I loved helping my mother, but after 4 years, it got very tiring to take care of mother, to the point that you're talking about a very young girl. How old was I back in 92, 91, 90,
Let's see,
88?
about 20, well, you were 21 through 23, 4, 5, somewhere around.
Okay, and so I didn't get that stage of nourishment that you normally get when you're 20s. It's a part of you that needs to go out and discover yourself.
Right, you were home taking care of.
That it became a burden, and I beat myself up with guilt and shame for having those feelings. But again, it's a very human thing when your body is forcing you to do certain things and your spirit is saying this is not the way it's supposed to be. I've never called in for help. My mother wanted just me, and I followed all those rules, and it started to burn me out. And I'm glad it took and destroyed my.
It takes a toll, and you take care of
it does.
A person that's.
I lost my identity, but I'm actually happy that I lost it. I mean, I started to live her identity, knowing her body schedule and food schedule.
When you're supposed to eat, when you're supposed to sleep, when you're supposed to
take
the meds, you know, if you've got these meds, if they've got to eat and all that stuff.
But you don't really have much of a life. Now, the idea is to help you understand here is that I saw my mother as a burden. But is that a bad thing? Yes, to some degree. On a humanistic scale, you look and you're going, oh, my God, didn't you love your mother? But again, this is a very humanistic mindset. But I also knew that I was human. And I couldn't understand why I was having those feelings. And it's because my soul was trying to say, you need to break this routine. We got to figure out another way that your mother can be taken care of, that you still can be nourished and helped too without dying off. And I thought, okay, so then that time passed and everything, and I learned to heal with the tools I have now, that I didn't have to feel guilty and feel like, you know, bad. And then I can actually help people that have been in that situation because they love this person, but yet they're burning out and they don't understand, and these thoughts pop in their head and they start to hate and denigrate themselves, and I'll say, stop. That's a normal reaction to what's happening. Now let's go back to when I was first married with Scott. He's an awesome man, okay? When at that time came, I was pregnant and I just stopped making the bed. I enabled it so that I was giving a service of love, okay? Unconditional love to make the bed every day. And then I got pregnant, so 8 months along, I can't make that water bed anymore. I mean, especially when you wake up in the middle of making the bed and you're sleeping. And you're like, what? Oh my God, I was making the bed. So I stopped. He couldn't understand what was going on because the way I always shown up, I enabled him to see me that way. Now it's gone. What are you supposed to do? Well, what happens is that he couldn't understand. Something was out of the normal. What's wrong? Don't you love me anymore? What's happening? Yes, he wanted the bed made because it was a way of how we communicated and created a relationship. And now it's changing, so what does this mean about our dynamics? Okay? Does that mean he's a bad person? No. Does that mean I'm a bad person? No. It's about the way we change. Do we make it difficult or do we make it easy? And do we make it the unconditional thing a conditioned thing? So it's just humanistic, but you can change and heal. Now our switchboard is lit up, so let's just take in the first caller and then go. Should we take a small break or anything and then just take them, or just take them?
Let's just get the callers.
And did we just skip the break, I suppose?
Yeah, 'cause
Just go.
Just go. So
Disco.
the first person that we're gonna get to is the Skype caller. You're on the air with Brenda and Jen.
And Scott.
It's Scott. So used to Monday's Medicine
Yes.
Woman Review. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello?
Yes. You're on the air. How can we help
Hey,
you?
how are you?
We're good.
How can we help you?
Yeah, I was wondering about, well, what do I gotta do?
What are you gonna do? And this is a general reading on
Yeah.
anything? Relationship, finances, life. Do you want one?
Yeah, relationships, I guess, it's
Okay. It
it's
sounds like
impossible to find a decent woman out here, man.
I was
They
gonna
all
say.
don't respect you. They don't respect a decent guy. They're like jerks.
Oh, we have a
Jeez,
story about
I
that.
have encountered that, believe me.
Okay, and
So what?
I can understand that.
because he's a nice
Yeah,
guy.
Nice guys finish last. I think I've heard of,
Well,
And
me
it
and
seems-
Jen have discovered this
Nice
little
guys come
thing.
in last. When it comes to women, nice guys don't.
I don't know though.
But you won.
Yes. It took
Okay.
me till I was 30 though.
But there's a change going
But you
on in
didn't
the world.
But you didn't finish last.
That's
And
true.
the change, we found this meme, and this meme on Facebook said, how'd it go, Jen?
Oh my
If-
gosh! So understanding that the boys that hit you in the playground meant that they liked you,
Oh, he might have to turn his radio.
You might have to
on.
turn your radio down just a bit.
set you up for the fact that now you need jerks in your life. That was the
Boys
premise.
that are mean to you like you. That was the premises. So there was a brainwashing that
That was the premise,
happened.
yeah,
But it's
of
the way
girls
boys
younger age.
talked. Now,
They kind of grow up thinking the same thing. Well, if he treats me crap, if he treats me like crap, he must really like me.
yeah.
right.
And women seem to be driven towards
Now, the kind of women
guys
that,
like that.
that you draw to you, your attraction factor of the women that you draw to you, are broken from what I can see. They want to tame you, but they're broken because they carry so much baggage. The reason you attract these women into your space is because you don't want to overpower them. You don't want to be the bad guy. You don't want to lord yourself over them. You don't want to be lofty and say that you're better than anybody else. You want an equal relationship, but all you saw growing up, from what I can see, is how people are supposed to be domineering. Does this make sense? What was your father like?
I mean, what father? I didn't have one.
That's the whole point. You didn't have a way to be, turned into a sheep that you're supposed to behave a certain way. So you probably turned out as one of those good guys that learned that it's okay to have a heart. And I see somebody broken. I'm going to lend a hand. Okay? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Say again. It's
Are
hard.
you?
Not really.
Yeah, Skype's been having trouble tonight. Just remember that all of this you can re-listen to on Blog Talk or on our website, or you can
Or on
find
the
information.
archives, yeah.
So, you learned that you didn't have to be the typical male. You learned that you can be a nice person, and do you understand what I mean by that?
Actually, I'm learning that you can't be. I mean, I've always been a decent guy towards women, but I've always been getting stepped on by them. It's just like, and then you see what they go to. They go to guys that are literally beating them up physically or psychologically. And logically, I'm a very logical person who tells you that you can't be decent to them because they will not respect you.
Right, and I'm telling you, you only know how to attract in crappy-ass girls. There are decent women out there that you can't attract in because you have a specific attraction factor.
Search for them and find them. They're hard to find sometimes. Try to, whatever area you've been in before looking for them, go to a different area. Go somewhere new.
You're creating healthy boundaries, but you keep attracting broken women. And as Medicine Women Reveal, we will tell you that the attraction factor is what you got to change out of yourself. And once you change that attraction factor, you're going to stop attracting these crappy women. Now, Jen drew some cards. What you got?
Okay, so asking about relationships. What kind of relationships I was just, what relationships are you having right now? And so the first card is actually Lady of the Mirror, which is about reflection and non-judgment. She's both an ally and challenger, asking you to see yourself in the mirror made by the events in your life. She represents the powerful force of the law of attraction and reminds you that what you are is what you attract. This isn't to say that you need to blame yourself for inviting transgressions, or if you find yourself a victim of a big picture event. This is a distorted interpretation of this law. Certain events are fated to test our faith. Rather, find yourself within the web woven through your life, your relationships, opportunities, desires, seeming failures, and successes. Observe how you've responded to life's challenges, great and small, and be aware of what is familiar in the present. Release all judgment and accept things as they are with love. Now the Metal King is the other card, and he comes in as an ally and is strong and arrives to lend you his impenetrable shield of protection, no matter who sends you criticism or jealousy, you will not be hurt. This ally also prompts you to think about setting healthy boundaries. When you do, no matter how uncomfortable that task may be, everyone will benefit. He asks you to make sure you know where you end and another begins.
So let me ask you a question. Is your mother, was she a broken woman?
I don't know what that means, honestly. I mean,
Was she
she got
sad?
divorced when I was young, but then she got remarried, and they had I would think, a good marriage till
Okay.
death do them part
Okay.
with my stepdad. So I don't know. I mean,
the reason why I say this,
American I say.
alright, the reason why I say this is because Jen ended up marrying a man that had the same attitude, personality as her sister. The way her sister treated her like crap
She was younger.
when she was younger, and as she got older, she wasn't able to process or get rid of, settle the way the sister treated her. She ended up marrying a man that had the same attributes, and was very unkind and abusive in some forms.
Mm-hmm.
So, did you have some other woman besides your mother in your life?
Me?
Yes.
Some other female figure
A
that
sister,
would help
an
you out.
aunt, neighbor?
My grandmother was a very strong figure in all of our lives, I would say.
Did you find any woman that wasn't strong?
Just really her. I mean, my grandmother, really. I mean, there's no, I never been married or anything like that. I mean,
Alright.
I really don't know who else.
Alright, so what we're going to do, what we're
going
going to do is we're going to change the format because Scott drew a card, so go ahead and...
Okay, the Field of Dreams is what I drew out of the deck here. It says, your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are always engaging the vast field of pure potential. This is the perfect time to harness the field of vast potential not yet realized in your life. Great abundance is yours if you're willing to do the work alongside the gentle gardener. Be clear about your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Concentrate on your best life regardless of the temporary outer conditions imposed upon you by the greater world, which has its own story to tell. You have a basket full of seeds that are quite powerful, for your talents are divinely inspired and will indeed lead to a great harvest to be shared with others. You will reap what you have sown. Dream big, dream beautiful, take action, and tend to the garden of your life and experience the extraordinary.
Alright, so the first card I drew is that you're losing hope about relationships. Another card I drew says getting to know each other, meaning that I watch you be the caretaker for these people. So I says, when did you first become a caretaker and have to feel like you got to take care of people, women? And they said at 3 years old, you were devastated about something and you then felt like you had to take care of it. You had to give comfort, you had to give joy, you had to give, and didn't receive anything in return. So basically as a 3-year-old, you kind of turned off your receiving of I need love and help, let me help you instead. Do you understand that?
Not really, to be honest. I mean,
Okay,
I don't
alright.
know.
So let's ask the question that you want to answer. Alright, so you have a specific question about relationships and we'll answer it.
Yeah, when is the right person, the right girl going to show up in my life?
Alright,
You know,
so-
holidays or Thanksgiving by myself every year, you know, Christmas, New Year's coming up, my birthday right after that, and it's like every year, you know, it's just like
Alright, so you have a
You
pattern.
know, when's the right girl who's going to really appreciate me for me? You know, when's that ever going to happen for me? I'm not getting any younger. It's just like never been married. I'd like to be if it was successful and all that. Is that ever going to happen for me? And if so, when and where? And
Okay, let's look at it this way.
kind of the whole game you have to play, you know? It's not, I've never been good at it.
Scotty, why don't you tell him what happened?
Well, what?
You finally said that's it.
Oh
in the
yeah,
same situation
yeah. You know,
he was in.
I was 30 years old, exactly where you are. This is back in '93, and then
He gave up on women, started
I gave
focusing
up
on
on
his
everything.
life.
I finally had a decent job. I said, screw it. I'm never getting married. I'm gonna sit and just have a lot of money. And that didn't happen. I could swear it was in February. I said, screw it, I'm just going to stick to my job,
That's
and I'm
his
going to work
birthday.
hard, and I'm going to just keep my money, and I'm going to enjoy myself and do what I want. And then a month later, me and Brenda started dating. That was
I
in
called
March.
him up.
She called me up and asked me out. I had known her off and on over the years because she
But
used
not
to.
really.
She used to be a friend of one of my friends I had that got killed in a car accident was her boyfriend at the time. Or yeah, at the time. And anyways, my friend. So I knew her beforehand, but I just bump into her every couple of years or so. But then we started dating in March and got married in October.
His switch of his focus of not having love.
Yeah, as soon as I
switched it.
Yeah, as soon as
You
I
let
said
it go.
I let it go.
Did a release. You
I
said,
released it all. I said,
done.
heck with it. I'm just gonna be old and alone.
Focused on something else.
And I figured, worst comes to worst, I'd save up my money and I'd go overseas and get a bride.
But
that didn't have to happen.
Yeah, but the universe didn't have to let you do that.
No.
It's like when women and or married couple are trying to get pregnant. When they finally stopped and they say they give up, they don't want to focus on it anymore, then automatically they start to become pregnant.
yeah, trying so hard.
You're not focusing on it. So here's the thing: go and find a life.
Work your job, go on a vacation somewhere, you might meet somebody.
Like this happens to be a chick flick, but Bridesmaids, and the girl was whining, I can't find a guy, I got no money, I'm basically a loser, and then finally when her friends basically said, stop it, get out of this, go find a life. So she started to focus on what she loved. So as she started to focus on what she loved, everything else opened for her. She stopped focusing on lack. And she focused on the joy of discovering what she wanted, what career and everything else, that everything else started to follow her and it unfolded. And that's what we're saying to you, is that when will it happen? When you stop focusing on the loss and the lack. Just start living your life, going after a career, doing what you need to do, and then the next thing you know, you will
Somebody
actually
will
let
pop
that
in.
person in.
The more that you're focusing on what you like, your interests, what makes you you, you start to enjoy, you start to blossom. The more of you comes out, that's going to start attracting a different factor
Because
also.
women like people, I guess, guys that smile a lot and are happy generally.
Well, I
Yeah.
know that I had to change inside of me because all I could do was attract jerks because my father was an asshole. And my father was mean. My father was abusive. And I did not know how any other relationship about what men were. When I healed that, then I got the complete opposite, which was
The
my
other
husband
guys,
now.
Yes.
But you're going to find somebody. They
You
already
will,
said, yes,
because
you're
you
going to
have
have
the
it.
desire to do it, you will do it. It just got to get out there.
Now, getting out
Yeah.
there's a difference.
Well, I mean,
let me just explain.
Yeah.
You already were getting out there, you're asking girls out, you're doing these things, but the kind of women you were attracting were the ones that you had to take care of. And now we want you, and that's spirit-wise, and the people sitting in this room, want you to put yourself out there and just start being nice to people. Hi, how are you? No agenda of dating them, but just going out and being your awesome self. And you'll be surprised at how all of a sudden you'll start attracting more people in, because this is the same for business. The more you put yourself out there energy-wise and start living your life, you will start attracting in the people that are supposed to be there to support you, love you, and help you. Do you understand? You still there?
I mean,
Oh.
yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I mean, I've done that before. It's like, seems like every time you do that, you let people in and want to stab me in the back some kind of way.
Okay,
you know
so
what I mean?
yes, I do. And then as medicine women, what we tell people is use healing tools. You got to heal away the pain. You got to process it out by using tools and change it. Your frontal lobe in your forehead, in your brain, creates your reality, and all it's going to do is keep recreating the same story every single day. So what has to change is that you deliberately are going to say, I know that women are a bitch, and then you use a healing tool. Even though women are a bitch, I deep and completely love and accept myself. That's the meridian tapping healing tool.
The thought management tool, you're going to kick out all those women that were bitches. I got a whole list of them. You go to our thought management, follow the tools, and you follow and you put that person's in a little box, little line through it. That bitch. You got a whole list, put them in, kick them out of your head. That's the thought management healing.
So
Yes.
all of the pain and the knowing of how you have been abused needs to be resolved out of your frontal lobe so that you don't keep creating that every single day you wake up. That is what we're about. Otherwise, will you create relationships? Yeah, you'll just keep creating what you know. How you create anything is how you create everything. So we just listen to the archives, hear what we're talking about.
Yes.
We're telling you that it's important to understand there's a driving force within that needs to be changed and resolved. Okay, we're going to have to let you go because our time's up, and we appreciate you calling in.
Call us back and let us know how it goes here in the future.
Okay, especially
We're
if you're doing
curious.
healing tools. If you do the healing
Yes,
tools, you
yes.
can change your
Try
reality in minutes.
Just
You
give
can
it a
change
try and see the results.
All
I
right,
don't
so thank
know
you,
if we're gonna
dear.
have time to take the-
90
No, we don't.
We'll have to tell this last caller, area code 618, if you could call back on Monday.
Or Friday.
Or Friday,
Or
we
Friday
have a show.
on the Sepia, it says on Friday, Sepia NC, which is www.sepianc.com, Friday from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern, or else Monday from 2 to 4 on this blog talk station that you're on. But we're just kind of running out of time right now.
And we're sorry we couldn't get to you. So we appreciate you calling in, and next time we'd love to be able to help you. Thank you, everybody in the chat room.
Yes,
Appreciate
yes.
it.
Thank
We
you.
got
Good night,
11
everybody.
seconds, and we will, remember, watch everything on the videos. Subscribe.
Bye.
Bye. Ready? Say bye.
Good night, good evening.